volunteers out in the front to do the tallying. You cannot be a presenter to tally votes. Nice try. Or we'll have one of your pals do it for you. Also not going to work. Can I get a show of hands? I need at least 4 people to help me. Okay, so 1, 2,
Chris, Michelle,
Dan, Lynn. Yeah, so if you want, after all the presentations are made, if you can come out front, I'd appreciate it. Oh, thank you.
Everybody's got their ballot. Everybody's got the pencil. This is going to be real simple. We're not starting off with a contest. We'll get there in just a couple minutes. So just want to make sure everybody's prepared. Now, about that cell phone, to make sure ringtone's off. Okie dokie. Well, away we go. Welcome to the San Diego Inventors Forum. Tonight's a special night, very special night. It's our 2018 year end, and this will be, why is that moving? There it goes, all right. Yeah, we'll have our contest tonight. We have 9 contestants that actually made it in time. I was so surprised today. We had, must have been 4 last minute. Can I get in? And oh, the ballots are printed, the thing's on the screen. We want to have this go through and have this completed by about 8:30. So every contestant, let's see, show of hands, how many contestants were here tonight? Or actually, let me just do a roll call. Chris, I saw you out there. Okay, that's a 1. Dave, I saw you out there. That's a 2. Eric Robinson, you're on. Okay, Jerry. It's Jerry or Gary?
Jerry.
Awesome. Thank you, Jerry. Greg? Greg Lauren?
I haven't seen him.
Ah, okay. That might be that opening somebody was waiting for. We might have a write-in. We'll see. Okay, Michael Rogers, I saw you here. Thank you, thank you. Phil Perez, I saw you here. There you are. Greetings, greetings, great. Ruth here, of course. Glad you could make it. And Scott with a power break. Raise your hands. There you are. Awesome. Okay, all but one. All but one.
Do you want to fill that spot now, or do you want to wait?
You know, we're here. We're running. He's not here. Let's fill the spot.
If he comes, we'll talk about
the gentleman that helped me unload.
Right over here. Right there.
You're on. Yay! Yay. Just returned. Andrew. Okay, you can just hand back that entry form and the check. Just hand back the envelope and we'll call that official. All right. Lucky man. Okay. All right. So yes, welcome, greetings. Thanks to our supporters. Number one, Amen. Thank them so much. Yay for Amen. Letting us host, letting us be here and hosting for us. We appreciate it. You know, this is a little sad. It's history now because they were closed. But for years, Coleman was a sponsor here, and we appreciate them very much and the help that Rod Weiss gave us. So I'd still like to say, for the last time, thank you to Coleman. Leslie and her firm, you might have heard of them, Jack in the Box. I want to thank Leslie. Thank you. Leslie, before Jack in the Box, was instrumental with IP at Hewlett-Packard and actually did license agreements on some of the very first 3D printers. Okay, and then there's this company. Who are they? Very happy to. Oh, thank you. Show of hands. How many of you guys have been in my office? That's why I've been doing it. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. And also special thanks to our biggest supporter here, David. Thank you very much, David. One of the sharpest, kindest, smartest patent agents you could possibly work with. There's your silver plug. Bob Green, you here tonight? Not here tonight? Well, he's a great supporter too. PowerPack does the blister packaging. We got to get tighter here with Burke Franklin, but he has all those do-it-yourself software tools for business plans. Over the year, I have great contributors. I haven't been able to do this alone. Of course, I've thanked them every month and continue and always will thank them for all their contributions here. Starting with Judy, who created the newsletter format and has spoken here many times. Michelle, I'll give you a special thanks here in just another second. Sydney, of course, for his videos. David, again, thanks. Ben's recently retired, but this gentleman was a great mentor, still is. If you don't know who Ben Gage is, he did the first video commercial for Buns of Steel and the Floby hair thing. I mean, this guy was one of the pioneers in the direct response TV industry, worked with Gunther, Renker, and those kind of people. So he was really instrumental. We got this club started in plotting paths. Of course, Leslie, our dear Leslie out here is always helpful. Grasnia has been our webmaster. She's out touring right now. Talked to Jennifer Joe this evening. Great spirit and help. Alandra, and then David Swift. Thank you so much for your video work. So for the last time of me telling you this, I am an inventor myself. That's why I do this. I love working with inventors and helping inventors, and I've made a business of actually doing this. That's this company here, A Square Technologies, Inc. And since 1985, we've been working with people such as yourselves. This is what my garage looked like up to about 2 weeks ago. Now most of that's in boxes, big piles of boxes. Oh my God. And yes, I am taking the little electric car with me, so I will be able to finish it. Woohoo! I have, as you can see, a whole garage full of projects that got so far and need to be finished, and a notebook of ideas that need to be finished. So that's why we're changing. That's why we're coming to new chapters. But the core of the whole life here in existence has been A Square Technologies, which is still in existence. Very happy to say Danny Galley is going to be our new production manager, taking over the production side. Yay, Danny! Thank you. The front end office work Amy keeps running. Can do that virtually anywhere. My side, I have engineers in Australia, Japan, India, so I keep them all working virtually. Point is, we've developed over 300 products for you folks. Some of them you might recognize: shopping cart wheels that lock up, voice-activated lights, tools, a lot of environmental products. The Baby Think It Over was Fortune Magazine's Product of the Year one year, so that became the most famous. But you know, I'm proud of all of them, and my passion has always been projects to help mankind or the environment. So yes, it's now 15 issued patents, of which I owe my thanks greatly to David for a number of them. This has led to a number of awards I'm very proud of. My more recent work has been for projects that are going to be going to Mars because, well, they need help. I have, because of my involvement with this club and the community, became very associated with this United Inventors Association and the U.S. Inventor, both groups dedicated to protecting your rights and educating you inventors. And I've been especially proud that this is all culminated now with all of the inventors clubs in a group called the Inventor Groups of America. I'll dive into that a little later. So that's very cool. It's a very American thing to do. It's the American dream, prosper from your ideas, and we're going to keep fighting for those rights. So, let's see, staying on time, okay. We only have about 10 minutes, but I never want to miss this opportunity to meet anybody that's here tonight for the first time. If you're new, why don't you put up your hand and tell us just briefly, we don't need the whole elevator pitch, what area is your passion, and just be general about it. Anyway, we'd like to know what somebody's doing that's new. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
Sure, I'm Scott Swaley.
Scott, not Chris.
Area, and I am an electrical engineer turned educator that is now also a pretty decent computer scientist, machinist. So I do a lot of random things, and the thing I don't like doing is the thing I'm already good at.
Yeah, now everybody gets 2 minutes less. I apologize, Scott. I wasn't listening. I got distracted. Yeah, Greg Lauren just showed up. That's okay. We'll have 10 presenters tonight. Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, since Lauren is now here, the voting list that you have here is missing Andrew.
Yeah.
So when Andrew gives a presentation, please make sure if you want to give him votes, please write his name in and give the votes accordingly, okay? Just so you know, Andrew's not on here, and we will say this time and time again throughout the night, so we'll be certain that we get you on there, Andrew.
The only other change, it's now a 5-minute presentation for all the presenters tonight, okay? Everybody chips in a little bit. All right. Thank you again, Scott, for presenting yourself. We look forward to your presentation tonight. Who else is new tonight? First time? Yes, my friend.
My name's Jim. I've always been creative in the inventions and somewhat new to San Diego. Used to be a member back in the 80s of the Orange County Inventors Forum, and I've always been tinkering with stuff. Never seemed to get it to the marketplace, so I got a winner this time, hopefully. Get it there.
So you want to say? That's what you want to say. Yes, dear. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what?
Come on, we're all friends together. We like to know what each other's doing. You might find your business partner or an inspiration or just another friend might be here.
All right. I don't got my background. But my name's Melissa. This is my first time here. We did get a patent.
Oh, congrats.
In the equine industry, but
Oh, horsies.
just starting this whole process, so I'm trying to gain as much information as I can from
All right.
everyone
Oh,
themselves.
excellent, excellent. And there's anybody else working in the pet industry or the equine specifically industry? Yeah, Chris is, and then
Dog toys.
yeah, I've got a dog product and
Really? Yeah, I see a lot in other fields like tools and stuff. So yeah.
oh, this is a very eclectic group. Believe me, it's from doorstops to spaceships.
So I'm pretty much for the education.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Is that correct, Melissa?
Yes, Melissa.
Melissa, thank you very much. Nice to meet Melissa.
Thank you.
Who else? Yes, my friend.
My name is Mike Rogers. My good friend Sid Wildsmith has been trying to convince me to come here for quite a while as I was working on my project. So I'm really happy that I'm finally here to see all of you and look forward to the contest.
All right. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Yeah, tonight's presentation is a bridge. It's just really about the contest, and at the end we'll talk a little bit about, well, we'll announce the winners and then talk about the status again of patents. So there's actually some good news today that I'm finally happy to share. So instead of starting off the meeting with that blistering, oh no, the Supreme Court just said you don't own patents anymore. Oh, I did say that. Oh, it's still true. But nonetheless, those news to help the situation. We'll get into that at the end. All right, well, we've got just a couple more minutes to start. Anybody else here for the first time tonight? You'd like to introduce yourself, please? Yes, hi.
Hi, my name's Rick Crone, and this is the first time I've ever been to an Inventors Forum or meeting of any sort. I've worked with industrial hydraulics for about 30 years for machinery, and I'm working on some projects for some compact construction machinery right now. So,
Excellent.
thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for me. Yeah, awesome. Welcome and greetings. Yeah, this is just the last meeting for this year, and we'll discuss later on, but the whole idea here is this was created with a great team. There is a format. You know, we do have plans on moving forward, so let's look forward to tonight's presentations. Any other first times tonight? All right, you ready for a contest?
Yeah.
Yay! Okay. Well, that's right. I'll do this presentation real quick. For those of you that are new, we are a 501c3. Our mission is to motivate, educate, and network you. There was a schedule. There will be a schedule. It covers a bunch of topics important to inventing. We have every month had great speakers, including our own dear Michelle Manshoff, who's the author of this book, Can Manufacturing Be Saved? And she's a fantastic speaker and available. And did you have any major updates or announcements that you wanted to make tonight?
Well, then I'm giving webinars now. I'm
Okay.
actually been hired by 4 different webinar companies, and I just gave a webinar last Thursday, and I've got a schedule of 3 more coming up in the next couple of months.
Anybody generally just getting started in this field, if you have any manufacturing questions, this is the best expert in town. Her knowledge is in every field there is of manufacturing, plus she knows the actual vendors that do good jobs. What more could you want? So please. Yeah, so every month you'll see that we'll have an inventor a month that talks about their projects, like Josh and his pet stuff, or maybe somebody like Louis Foreman with Edison Nation. You never know. Well, we know who the speakers are. All of the speakers we've had during the year have been videotaped. Thank you to Sydney. Now it's been David Swift who's been videotaping these, and they're all online. They're great high-def videos, and there's the website to go to. And all this expertise that has come up to the stage and presented is available free of charge for you. Okay? And then, of course, I'm proud that mine is one of the more popular ones, the 17 mistakes inventors make, because I did them so well, you might as well learn from some of those mistakes. Some of them more than once, unfortunately. But anyways, okay, that was for all of you that are new. And now, like right on the button on time, we are ready to start our contest. Yes, yes, yes. First up is going to be I helped you on this.
Yes, you did.
I remember. Okay, Chris.
With the electronic part.
Let's get it started. You're gonna you get 5 minutes, and away we go. Ladies, Chris, pronounce your last name. Chris and his new product.
So much different from up here. Wow.
The tee shots. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris. Yay, Chris. How many minutes? You have 5 minutes. How much is this?
It's a minute video, but I'll do my presentation first. If we have time, we'll do it. If not, no worries.
I like the no worries approach.
Ready?
Yep, go for it.
Hey guys, Chris here with our new product, T-Shots. T-Shots are the most versatile, disposable, reactive gun targets. T-Shots are 4.5-inch flat targets. You can stick to any surface. These targets change color from red to green when hit with a bullet. How does that happen, you ask? Well, our design is unique, yet so simple. Red latex is stretched over a green target. This makes the target appear red in color. When the target is hit, red latex snaps back, exposing green target underneath. This gives you a clear, real-time confirmation your target has been hit. It will also provide instant gratification upon each hit. So, when you train to handle a firearm, you will practice your proper stance. You will practice your proper posture. You will practice your aim. But when you pull your trigger, you need that clear, real-time confirmation to know whether you hit your bullet or not. If you hit your target, you train your muscle memory and you become better at aiming. If you miss your target, you know to readjust at real time and continue shooting. Now, some outdoor gun ranges use steel targets. Steel targets are considered reactive targets because they make sound and they move when you hit them with a bullet. The problem is, with steel targets, bullets can ricochet, so you have to shoot at them from a long distance, and you cannot use them in indoor gun ranges. As a matter of fact, there are no reactive targets for indoor gun ranges. So when you're at a gun range, you usually see a paper target like this, and after you fire, you'll be lucky if you see actual bullet holes like these, which do not give you real clear time, information, so you don't know if you hit or not until you bring your target back. With T-shots, imagine you're pointing your gun at this, and as soon as you pull the trigger, you see this. Right away, you know you got it, and that's how you're going to continue getting better. So maybe if we have a minute, I can put the video in. Come on. We can do this.
You know where?
How many in a pack?
There's 4 discs and 16 latex covers. So what happens is after you shoot them, you actually can pull them right off. You take the latex off, you put another piece in, and then you put new adhesive dots on there again, and you stick them back on.
What's the price?
Are you buying it? I got some myself.
No. I mean,
$19.95.
keep talking while.
Yes. No, I got just kidding.
Do you have different sizes?
No. This is just one standard, so it keeps the budget down. Otherwise, you have to manufacture different kinds. And this is actually considered a kill shot. So even though the target is 4.5 inches, when you aim at the center, you always know as soon as you hit that you're within 2 inches of your center.
How many bullets can each disc take?
Usually about four discs. And we are doing R&D right now to actually make them out of cardboard. Once you make them out of cardboard, you can shoot them up till they disintegrate. So we'll be able to have refill packs for the silicone, and then refill, and the targets themselves. Yes, sir.
So even if you shoot the paper, none of the plastics in it can come off of the plate? Like, or say if you shoot close to the plate, it's not gonna.
No, unless you hit it, nothing's going to happen to it.
Okay.
Yes.
Do they sell these at Walmart?
No, we just got them in last week. We just got them, but they will be selling them pretty soon. We already, actually, it's nice. We have quite a few people on Instagram now, the shooters. They just hit us up like, hey, send me a couple, I want to try them out. So we've been sending them out. They're giving us great reviews and great videos. So if you want to follow us at T-Shots Nation, follow us, check us out. They're actually really fun. And they're engaging too. My experience when I used to go in a gun range is when you shoot there, everybody else is on their phone, not paying attention. With these, when you're ready to pull the trigger, you could turn around and you see everybody staring at you. Ready? So, yes?
How do you respond when people say, what about
Last question.
Carnival game?
What about Balloon Carnival game?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same concept.
How many times I get people like, how come I didn't think of that? This was just one of those things. Yes. But you can't use it.
Last question.
Yes.
Go ahead. Are you ready? Your video already
Yes,
ran
yes.
twice.
Is that your picture on the target?
All right. So, folks, give them a big hand.
Thank you.
I plugged in that cable, and the audio didn't go out, so that's what it did. It did show twice.
All right. If anybody wants to see a video at T-Shots Nation, T-Shots Nation, just check us out. Thank you.
All right. Dave. Watch your ballots, guys. Get ready for your next presentation. We want this to get through, and
Who's next after Dave?
it's going to be Eric Robertson. Again, look at your ballots. Look at your ballots. You doing this by hand? No. You could have brought one, but no. Nope. I guess, David, would you be so kind as to bring one folding table up here so everybody up here could, we'll bring one up for you, Dave. Okay. That was a good idea. We just should have had it sooner. All right, folks, our next presenter tonight, Dave Schmover. Is that right? Schmoyer. And put a Y. Oh, that's a Y, not a V. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Dave's got this great invention for you to see tonight. It's a pill and parts dispenser. We'll be ready here in just a second. You want the table, right?
Yeah, so I can sit.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm sure appreciates that. Thanks, David. Okay, doke, Dave. Ready?
Put the stuff towards the front because we can't see the back of the table.
What's that?
Say it again.
We can't see the back of the table, so we want to put the stuff more towards the front.
Oh, just make sure everything's in the front. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, ready?
Yep.
Set. Go!
Okay, what I have is a new concept in pill and parts storage. My product improves on this, which is a household item you all probably have in your homes for your pills. The reason this is a household item is because 55% of the adult population in the United States takes 4 or more prescription pills daily, not to mention vitamins and supplements. The problem with this design here is it has a living hinge, and this is what happens to the living hinge. It breaks off. The other thing, they don't stay out of your way, they flap back and forth, and they're annoying. Ultimately, the hinges fatigue like that and break. My product eliminates this hinge by using a lid that rotates on the body of the container. Therefore, it never wears out. This design is more user-friendly because many people that will use this will have some kind of disability, either arthritis or stroke. So instead of using their fingers to open lids, you can open this up with the palm of your hand and have access to the pills. This cylinder body rotates using the palm of your hand. So The parts, this design makes it applicable for a parts container. Right now, to take your parts with you, like a handy person or a crafts person, you have to use this. And so you have to find a place to put that in your toolbox, which is bulky. This design here has 2 lids, and you can store also has removable dividers. You can store your parts in there, and this you can throw in your toolbox, and it's much more user-friendly. I believe this design will replace the living hinge. That's what I have.
Excellent. Questions? 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 There is the man with a question.
Same question, Pat, is your patent status?
It's patent pending.
Patent pending.
Yes.
From what I've been told, it's almost in the bag.
Utility or provision or design? Design, which one is it? Utility. Is it utility patent?
Yeah.
That's
And have you made something to mount it on the wall?
Pardon me?
Have you made anything that would make it wall mount? So if you were in the garage or the shop or something, you'd have it on the wall and you could open it up?
Well, what I did think of is, as far as the parts things, like you have your little drawers, these could also slide in and out of a space, and then take it out. Like, say this is all flathead screws, you could take this out of its compartment, take what you want, and slide it back in.
You know, I was thinking if you attached it to the wall, then you could open it up and it would stay on the wall.
Attach this.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be too hard.
All right, so imagine
It's a good idea.
attached. It sits on the bottom, so it would just rotate.
You have see-through plastic covers on them too?
Do I have what?
Or some of them, the part, you have some of them that are clear plastic so you can see what's inside?
Yeah, these are prototypes, so anything can be done with it. I would like this done in a heavier, more nylon plastic too, so it can hold metal screws and bolts that are heavier. But these are the prototypes to give you the concept of the design.
All right, very good. All right, thank you very much, Dave. Good show. What websites? Do you have a website yet, Dave?
No.
Okay, there's your answer. No website.
I've got information on my bulletin.
Okay.
Can we get a PowerPoint put up there?
You know, we'll give it a shot.
All right, cool.
Well, I wish they all fit in that little thing. Let me see if it's skinny enough to fit into here. 'Cause that would make my life a lot easier rather than having to fit.
Looks good.
Oh, man. Somebody must have known what they were doing. Okay. That shouldn't be too hard. Man. Well, what do you call it?
8 minutes. I thought we had 8 minutes. You only get 5, right?
Yeah, you only have 5.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Give it. No, you can make it just blast through it.
All right. And if audio's on here, it'll come out. Otherwise, I don't really know how to change any of the audio settings. And what do we do here? Slideshow or file or slide or format?
We're gonna talk first, so I'll get to that in a minute.
You know how to make that work, right?
Yeah, just
okay. Push the button.
Push the button.
Amazing what technology does. Okay, folks, tonight you get to see some real cool stuff here, some high-tech stuff. This is Eric Robinson with Green Launch, describing his orbital launch services. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Robinson.
All right, thank you, Adrian. This is great. Great opportunity. Thank you very much. This is John Hunter. He's an inventor and he's also a physicist, and so he's going to be helping me tonight with our little presentation here.
This is Eric Robinson. He's a roboticist, and he essentially has hardware on Mars.
John's a physicist. He's worked at Livermore Labs, and he's created a huge cannon, a 400-foot long cannon in the past. So this is something new. This is not new for him. But anyway, so let's go ahead and give us our spiel here.
Oh, here we go, Eric. Well, you want to give us the give us the old spiel, or give us the PowerPoint?
Let's do this first.
10-4. Go ahead.
No, I mean let's do our.
The spiel. Gotcha. Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this because I'm on the statins right now, which means I forget the hell out of things. So, but it keeps me alive. So basically, I'm reading at this point. You guys okay with that? Okay. We're from Green Launch. Our company is seeking $375,000 in exchange for 10% of the company.
Green Launch is committed to revolutionizing access to space. The problem is that today's rockets require years of planning. They produce tons of greenhouse gases, and they're very expensive.
Did you know rockets cost between $5,000 to $20,000 per pound to put anything into orbit? For many promising missions, that's prohibitive.
Instead of rockets, wouldn't it be incredible to have a giant cannon that could shoot objects into space whenever you wanted to go?
Hell yes.
Just like the FedEx of space.
Exactly. There soon will be, Eric. There soon will be. This year, at an Army test facility in Arizona that he and I were at 2 weeks ago, we developed a launch system based on the fastest propellant known to man. Take a guess what it is, guys.
Railgun.
Nope. Took all the records. Hydrogen. In less than 1 year, our team constructed a hypersonic cannon that's accelerated projectiles like this. This is one of the dummy rounds we shot. This is before it gets shot, because when after they get shot, they get vaporized, or they're not recognizable. That's a pre-shot. And they go to, in this case, Mach 6. We're going to be at Mach 10 within a few months. So Green Launch plans to use hydrogen cannons to launch small satellites. This is sort of a payload type looking thing, into low orbit. Once in space, an onboard rocket fires, and it puts the satellites into a nice orbital trajectory.
So the translation is, it's green, it's lean, it's a space launching machine. But now the question is there really a demand for this kind of launch services? And coincidentally, the private space market right now is exploding off the charts. The industry is worth millions of dollars a year just for small satellites alone. Along with huge profits, Green Launch is about legacy. It's about creating a new future. And it's about your own personal mojo. Getting out there, and like, this project is just incredible. When this thing goes off, your adrenaline spikes up. And it's amazing. It's going to make humanity a multi-planet species and allow us to explore the solar system.
In the near term, like FedEx, we will focus on just-in-time satellites. Eventually, we'll deliver supplies to NASA and others. But Green Launch does not damage the environment. Unlike rocket launches, which kick out a lot of CO2 and other things, we don't do that because we recycle the hydrogen each shot. So it's also 1/50th the launch cost of ordinary rocket delivery, and just in time. Currently, if you want to launch, let's say, a CubeSat into low Earth orbit, there's a 2-year backlog. In our case, it would be like 1 week. So we would really break out this this expanse into space. So this is the ultimate space investment. So Eric wanted me to ask you guys, if you know anyone who's interested in this most innovative advancement in commercial space, please see us afterwards. We're available. Thanks.
Great. So we do have a couple pictures here. We'll just blast through this in a hurry here and take a look.
2.5 minutes here because we're burning data.
All right, okay. So oh, that's
they shrunk our gizmo there.
So we've got 3 phases. The first phase, our next phase, is to go to the Kármán line, which is space, 60 miles up. The second phase is world record. Right now the world record is 110 miles. We can beat that with our second phase, so we'll be able to go above that. The third phase is to orbit 1 kilogram, which is a couple of pounds, and to prove a proof of concept. This is the team. We're dedicated aerospace engineers, scientists, Air Force pilot, and environmentalists and investors. This is what you can see here, some of what we're actually shooting out of this gun. This is Yuma Proving Ground, where we are. You've got to have a place where you can shoot up into the sky and not hit airplanes. That's where we are at Yuma. They have clear aerospace there. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's safe. The 200 album CubeSat.
1 minute left, guys.
Okay.
1 minute left. Okay.
Yeah, we got it.
This is what the can looks like.
This is what I built back in the 90s. My team built this back at Livermore. It's 400 feet long.
Here's what it looks like when it shoots.
It broke all the railgun records. So the actual records for speed and kinetic energy of 3 kilometers per second were held by Livermore. I ran that project.
So here it is. Here's what the current launch capability is, and this is what we with our capability we were able to do. By 2022, we're going to be up in the millions of dollars range, able to launch these satellites at a fraction of the cost currently, with the volumes that we're seeing today even. But that's it. So if you're interested, please let us know.
Awesome.
Hey, get the little rocket going.
Questions?
Fascinating.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Dan.
Yes,
Is that just a rock? I mean, like a cannon or is it once it's shot?
It's two things, yeah. It's a ballistic launch. It's very high Mach number.
Okay.
And then once it gets to apogee, say it gets to 300 kilometer apogee, does a gravity turn, and a rocket motor turns on. And this thing right here is actually, it looks like a sounding rocket, which is a more primitive version, but you can recognize it. So, but the final version is going to be a little pointier, and it's going to be won't have fins, because at those speeds the fins burn off. It has a little different shape. This is for the lower speed version. Yes.
What kind of G's do the payloads have to be built for?
Tens of thousands.
Versus like a normal rocket launch?
Tens of thousands versus tens. So it's 1,000 times the G load. But the good thing is I actually built a satellite for DARPA in '98 out of off-the-shelf parts, tested it at 4,000 Gs repeatedly, no problem. So it can be done. The reason we have these things here, these are little commercial golf balls. You buy them off of Amazon, and you can whack them with a ball, with a club, and they light up. It shows they have electronics, batteries, capacitors inside here. It shows you the electronics can take high Gs. Now, I've actually, like I said, I built a satellite and shot it out of a can and recovered it. But this shows with ordinary commercial stuff, these little cores, just hit these things and they turn on. These take 20,000 Gs, no problem. So that's not an issue.
Good comparison. Dan?
How accurate is that cannon, and could you use that to launch something that would land back on Earth, like as a delivery system?
Yes, that has been proposed. Back in the late 90s, I was asked to do that. At the time, I was a pacifist, just before 9/11. I said, I only do medical things in space research. And I changed after 9/11. So basically, the answer is yes.
Awesome. Thank you very much, John. Great. Oh, one more question? Yeah, my friend.
What other kind of things are you shooting up there other than satellites?
Well, we haven't shot anything into space yet. All of our shots were horizontal.
I mean, what other kind
Well, scramjets. We had the world record for hypersonic engines. Scramjet is a hypersonic. It's a high Mach number scramjet. They're above Mach 5. So back in '98, we launched 6 scramjets above Mach 7, between Mach 7 and Mach 9. They turned on for the first time.
There you go. You guys have a website?
Absolutely, yeah, greenlaunch.org.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Excellent. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Very presentation. Thank you so much. Okay, Jerry? Are you ready? Come on up. Can you give Jerry a hand with his cart there, Craig, maybe? Would you mind? We can give him a hand with this?
Yep.
Alrighty. So today, Jerry is going to show us his new painting tool. Greg, how many of these have you got?
Smaller. I go smaller. This is too big.
Oh, but you have more painting tool inventions than anybody else I know. So, you must 3, 4?
3.
3. Yes. There's a market.
Hi, everybody.
Good evening. Ready to get started here? Okay, Jerry. This is Jerry Clausen showing us his new painting tool. And away we go.
Okay. This is a tool to remove acoustic ceiling, popcorn ceiling.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And acoustic ceiling started in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even into the 90s. And a lot of times people want a smooth ceiling like the wall there, and they want that removed. How do you remove it? Well, typically you put a couple layers of plastic down, and then you get one of those garden sprayers and you pump it up, and then you spray the water on the acoustic, and that breaks down the glue, and then you take a scraper and you scrape it. My scraper is here. A drywall blade, and then it comes off and you drop it on the floor. This tool came out because I used to do that, and it makes a mess. Has anybody seen popcorn ceilings removed? Oh, God. Yeah. It's a mess. So this will adjust. This will go up, right up to the ceiling. And so a person can either operate it from a ladder, or you can take this, and then I've got an end to it, and you can put an extension pole, and you can scrape like that. And then I also have a smaller version of the same thing, and it just goes down into the pail there. And then I put 5 or 6 plastic bags in there, and every time it gets about half full. Half full is about as much as you want to put in it, because it gets very heavy because it's all full of water. Put it in my notes here. Now, one of the problems with acoustic ceiling, popcorn ceilings is asbestos. They stopped using asbestos back in about '78. Before then, about half the ceilings had asbestos in it. Asbestos is an extremely good mineral, but it is extremely dangerous. It causes cancer. So testing it is very important before 1978. Even a couple of years after that, they still had stocks and they were using it even into the 80s. So test it before you scrape it. And there are companies that specialize in removing asbestos. The cart, it's very easy to operate this because you can push it to wherever you want. Also, the cart, I got this from Harbor Freight for 30 bucks. Great cart. You can also use it for paint tray. Put your paint tray on there. So when you're painting, typically you move the tray every couple of feet, right? And because they're using plastic trays now, they're a little flexible, so you could spill some paint. But if you put it on this, it won't spill. The small one can be used for hallways and for closets. And then I have a plastic shield on this side, so you can push it right up against the ceiling, so when you scrape, nothing gets behind here. So you should have no mess at all on the floor. This is your roller and your brush storage, which goes inside the 5-gallon bucket. Also, the 5-gallon bucket is also a roller cleaner. So you put that over there, you take your hose, and you squirt water in there, and because of the pressure of the water, it makes that spin like crazy. And that centrifugal force will clean a 9-inch roller like this in 30 seconds. And then there's a drain on the bottom over here.
One more minute, Chair.
Yeah, okay. Then, I got to thinking, when I was painting, every time you did ceilings, you had to plastic off the whole room. Whatever you did plastic off was going to have a mist from your roller. Because if you watch painting rollers in sunlight, there's always a little mist that comes out. So what I did is I put this on the frame, so now when you roll, anything that mists off of here comes onto this here. And when you want to reload it with paint, turn it upside down, and this is out of the way of the tray. So there's that one. Also the weenie roller, which is a small roller. Everybody uses these for, am I out of time?
Well, wrap it up.
Okay. Everybody uses these for bathrooms. Usually you don't put plastic on a bathroom because you're in a hurry, but it's going to have a mist all over the place. Then a paint pail, instead of going on the edge because it'll drip over, I put a bar in the center, and also, why hold it? All right, and it's got a magnet.
It slices, it dices, it juices. Great job, Greg. Great job.
That's not all.
And that's not all. Exactly. All right. Okay, Greg Lauren. Now, folks.
Questions?
Oh, yeah. Questions. Yes, my friend.
Okay, so the purpose is not, you don't have to take all the furniture out of the room, you can just go ahead and, do you have to,
With this?
no, the,
Oh, with that?
yeah.
You're still going to have to cover everything with plastic because you're going to spray water on everything.
Oh.
The easiest thing is to move all the furniture out of the room. It really is. Because you're going to be working around it all the
But
time.
this is going to save you having to clean up the big mess that follows if you don't have that.
Because it is a mess. I mean, your shoes are about an inch thicker. It gets all over the ladder, gets all over you. And if there's anything that's uncovered, it's going to be covered with popcorn. And it dries, and then you track it through the house.
Yes?
I think you should expand the service to remove ceiling tiles. Because I remove ceiling tiles and I hate going up the ladder, going down, going up and down.
Yeah? Okay.
That sounds like your invention.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, folks. Thanks. Jerry Clausen, thank you so much. Thank you for being patient. Next up is Greg Lauren. So I want to give a little shout out to Richard here. It's all his fault that I'm here. By the way, Bob, thank you for being here. I already gave you the thanks for being the sponsor, but we love it that you're here. Thanks. So I want to give a thanks out to Richard because, oh, you and your needs. Here, plug this in so it does. It was 14 years ago. Greg here was actually running this Inventors Forum at Bob Green's shop. And it was a very friendly environment, and people got together, and then I got asked to step in and kind of turn in all this. But so a little bit of the history here, folks, is your next presenter was actually the leader of this group before I took over 13 years ago. So circles go around, come around. Okay, put it on there. Go ahead, Greg.
I hope it. Yes.
Are you okay like that there?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
It doesn't fall down.
It'll be gravity's fault, not mine.
That's not my bucket. Buckets.
Anyway.
Many buckets around. So.
Greg is an amazing musician and a physical therapist and a brilliant inventor. And I don't know how many times we've had the privilege of seeing him come up to the stage and present you one of his invention ideas, of which you've had some great success. He has gotten some into Home Depot.
Yes.
So welcome our dear friend Greg Lauren. Greg.
So Greg Lauren is my
easy to pronounce.
Yes, American name. Greg Babczyniak is my real name. From Poland originally. So in Poland you had to improvise with a lot of things, and so I still keep improvising. And wherever you are on a job, you have to carry things with you, and often buckets are popular, and Home Depot sells millions of those, and the buckets are always loaded with stuff. So I have here, let's say, some stuff, and so later I will show you what I have. So this is the original, let's say, idea with the bucket thing, but I expanded to the super looper, cord looper, because you always have to loop cords, you see, and you see what happens with the cords, right? So that's what I'm working on. I found the solution for the extension cord. I found the solution later. I'll show you for like a medium-sized cord. I'm still looking. I mean, refining. I didn't get the thing to work with this yet. So, but this is the next stage. So basically, I'm looping cord. Let's see what this will do here. That's how fast it goes. need a charger. If you corded tools, you just put Okay, so that's
awesome.
I can do it here as well. It works just like that. And this is still the prototype, but look how quickly it winds up. It needs a little bit better grip base, but it will have it. But still, when it rotates, it just winds up nicely, and it doesn't take any space inside of the bucket. So the nice thing is you can put all kinds of things into the bucket, and if your cords are looped, they will not get tangled up. And I will show you another way. This is the actual super duper cord looper. Wait a minute. No,
and there's more.
Yeah, there is more. No, that. You know what it is? So I saw this and figured out about how it would work for this. Almost. Okay. So it's not. Maybe it's not as good as a tie, but it holds this thing in place. You can hang it on a nail. And you see, this was the only one that came not tangled. If you saw it, I don't know. The record will show. But if you have a bunch of those, this is for the smaller cords. So this is for extension cords. For the power cords, I'm working on the right, let's say, strength for this. So this is not strong enough for this. For the more stiffer cords, but I mean, look how nicely it works. You just now it was supposed to work nicely. Now, repeat, please. Click. Yeah. So it's just that's the super duper cord looper, and this is the base for it, the bucket base. And the next, the Mini is coming up, and I hope those will make your lives easier. When you see those in the store, you can buy them. If you get on a big job, you need to hook things up or store things, or if you just listen to the music with your earbuds. So, super duper cord looper.
All right.
Yeah, questions.
Yes. Does it come with the bucket, or can you buy that separately and then just put it to, let's say, a regular Home Depot bucket?
It comes without the bucket. It's just it will be just a bucket base, just like a lazy Susan type of thing, and any bucket should just snap fit onto it, and also removable, so you can put, if you don't use the cord. There are some rings that like it's called bucket base. Those stabilize the buckets on the uneven surface on the roof. So I played with this kind of thing a little bit, and just adding a spinning on it, just as a spin, would be perfect for this solution. So, any other questions?
Make it into a seat so you can spin around on the seat.
Peter.
Correct.
Did you invent the cord looper device, or was that used for another purpose and you repurposed it?
I repurposed it. And this is actually, it was...
Remember the Zap sisters a couple of years ago with the slap it bracelet?
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah. But this will need to be a little bit stronger for thicker cords and stuff, but it works so nice. I mean, you know, when you're in the limelight, things are not perfect, but even though, you know, it snaps so nicely in.
Real simple, real clean.
Yeah.
And you don't have to tie any bows, and
Yeah.
next
and
to a rubber band, it's
And
just...
when it's straight, it doesn't take any space. For retail, it's nice and flat, and it can be in a blister pack or it's bob.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll be labeled.
Yeah.
So you can't do that with it. All right, well, real good job, Greg. Real good job. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next up is Michael Rogers and the one-handed hamper. How are you guys?
You're up after that, so be ready.
The what? The what? The what?
Philip is up after that. So
Okay. Yes. Yes. Exactly. All right, Michael. Do you have anything to plug in the computer? Or is this for real?
Nope, nothing to plug in.
Oh, right on. Reality. What a concept. Okay. So,
while Michael's setting up, I just want to remind you, it's one vote per ballot only, please, and make it clear as to what your vote is. If there's more than one, or I can't tell, I can't count your vote. Okay?
Can you just circle it?
You can circle it, you can mark it, because we easily identified as one vote per ballot.
you could drive 5 big arrows right at it.
And remember, we're going to be adding one more to your list.
Yes.
So Andrew's going to be on the bottom of that list.
See what persistence does for you?
Or on the side.
No,
Okay, on the side.
Okay. Okie dokie.
Okay.
Okie dokie, all set?
I'm ready.
Already, all set? Already? Okay, well, next up, Michael Rogers and his one-handed hamper.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Rogers, and about 2 years ago, while I was doing laundry, I noticed from time to time there were situations that kept recurring that I found a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating. 3 situations specifically. And they were all being caused by the same singular reason, which is whenever I used to grab my old crummy laundry basket, I had to carry it with 2 hands everywhere I went, which meant I didn't have a hand free to do some other things that I would like to do. So, for example, problem number 1. When I approach a door that's closed with my laundry basket, I have to kind of hang on to the laundry basket with these 2 fingers and then try and manipulate the doorknob with the other ones. If the laundry basket is especially full and heavy, or if the clothes are piled especially high, that makes that even a little bit more tricky. The other problem is that if I go through the garage door in the house, which is always a self-closing door, then not only do I have to do this little maneuver, I have to thrust the door open and then kind of rush in, usually putting my backside or my shoulder into the door. Other times I might actually just like smash the laundry basket into the door to keep it open. And like a lot of you, I think there's a better way to do this. Second problem that I had. For some clothes, like the dress shirt that I'm wearing now, when they come out of the dryer, I want them to stay wrinkle-free. So what would happen is they would come out of the dryer, I'd put them on hangers, shake them out, and now I want to take everything up to the bedroom all in one trip. I don't want to make 2 trips. So what I would do is something like this. First thing that happens, and I hope you all can see this, some of the clothes start to hit the ground or the floor of my garage. And even though it's fairly clean, it's no place for my dress shirts. Problem 2 is that I have to, again, grab a laundry basket with both hands. So as you can see, I'm crushing, kind of wrinkling these clothes. Pretty soon, the iron's going to have to come out because these clothes are no good. My third and final problem that I would run into sometimes is as I carried the laundry basket around the house, I wanted to grab something else, maybe cleaning supplies to take up into the bathroom to clean. One time I had a cold glass of water that I couldn't take with me. Another time my laptop computer that I didn't want to set down onto the clean clothes. I thought it would just be great if I had a hand free. That's why I invented the one-handed hamper. Julie, please show everybody the one-handed hamper.
Sure thing, Mike.
When Julie comes back through the door, watch how, of course, she's going to hold the one-handed hamper with one hand, but her other hand is clearly free if she had to manipulate a door handle or a door knob to open it up. The one-handed hamper, as you can see, is a standard-sized laundry hamper, but it's outfitted with a handle, and it has a specialized grip. The grip does 2 specific things. Of course, it allows her to control the laundry hamper and to hold it firmly, but if she wants to use that same hand to grab other items, all she needs to do is run her arm through the grip and place it into the middle section of her arm. The laundry hamper will stay balanced about her arm as she moves through the house. Without that specialized grip, the weight of the laundry hamper would cause it to slide to one end, and then she wouldn't be able to hold it correctly and it just wouldn't be useful. Julie, show everybody how you handle your dress shirts that are wrinkle-free and clean. And she's able to go wherever she wants to around the house. And what about that bottle of Windex that you wanted to bring from the laundry room up to the bathroom to do some more cleaning? And again, if that door was closed, she could have easily reached out and opened it up without banging it or etc. All right, Julie, now hand me those items. And what if you had a larger kind of awkward object that you needed to bring with you?
Let me take a look.
You got her doing your laundry. You solved the problem.
I have a real winner. So there she goes. You just can't do that if you have to have both hands being used to hold the laundry basket. And what about that ice cold glass of water that you just made yourself and you want to bring upstairs? Now she doesn't have to make 2 trips. So just a little fun fact, hopefully this product does, you can put all that stuff down, hopefully it does catch on. I have been out to Walmart and Bed Bath & Beyond, and if it does make its way into the stores, then another version I have would be like a child's version. This is Thor if you can't see it, so the hammer becomes the handle, or the Hulk, or Wonder Woman with her magic lasso rope. So there's ideas for the future if it makes it into the marketplace, and of course I hope it does. Thank you all very much.
Questions? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yes, please start here.
So is it the whole thing, or is it the handle that you could snap onto any standard laundry basket?
It's the whole thing, because your typical laundry basket isn't going to be able to, I mean, you could jerry rig it, and actually, because this is a prototype and it could break, it could snap off. If anybody sees these strings, it's only because this handle is a version that was made slightly too large. The real thing would not have any strings, but you would have to tie it on here, and then it would, the final version, this is going to be a soft, kind of like, it'll have a little bit of a texture to it. So if you tried to do this yourself by tying something on, you're going to have something that probably doesn't work as well and be comfortable.
But maybe there's some way to adapt it so like people don't have to buy a new basket. They just buy this is really cool, the handle with the thing in the middle. Just snap it onto whatever they have.
There's 1,000 ways you could take this and do that for sure. It's just if you want it to look good and look classy and you don't want it to break off. I could drill a hole through there and certainly I could create this. But I want, for instance, for the last year I've used this as the one-handed hamper, but I took some very tough string and I did that. Problem is, and I never meant for it to be used with string, when Julie would ever carry it or use it, she would say, that string is very uncomfortable. And I said, well, that's why this is just something for me to practice, to make sure that it works and that I do grab a glass of water from time to time and think, this is just a really simple thing, but you really want this specifically to do this. Without this grip, some of the earlier versions had less of a concave shape. It didn't work at all. So.
Sydney.
Those holes for hangers? Sorry, the holes next to the grip, can you put hangers through those?
The whole, no, this is just to lighten it.
Okay.
So is that essentially the product that you would sell, or are you trying to license that? Where are you going with it?
I'm going to try and manufacture and sell it. Probably start with Kickstarter. I have a manufacturer in Ohio that's ready to go.
Yay, American.
And, I got my non-final office action sent back, and then we responded to that, and it's looking pretty good. So keeping my fingers crossed.
Design or utility?
Utility, and I have a design, but I haven't heard back on the design. So I went both.
Congratulations, I have to say, for what's a basket and handle. Shows you go, yeah. Very clever. Right on. Right on, Michael. Okay, next, Philip. You ready to show that shovel?
Yeah.
All right. Philip has a new tool. It is a impact tool. You know, impact, like bang, 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 impact?
Yeah. It's going to take me just a couple of seconds.
Seconds? So you want a USB?
Right.
Here?
HDMI.
Yeah, HDMI. Yeah, duh. Sorry.
Yeah, that way I can...
I thought I'd just mess with your head a little bit.
You got me. But yeah, that way you can watch this while I set up.
Okay.
Is it on?
It looks like it. That's so cool now. All this technology is finally getting to be plug and play.
So I'll let you guys watch
Took
the video
13
while I
years.
set up, 'cause I have to-
Okay, and now watch this.
Have you ever experienced the jarring pain from a shovel hitting rock, or the backaches and sore muscles from swinging a pickaxe? How about the fatigue and exhaustion from repeatedly lifting a 16-pound digging bar? Introducing the Impact Tool, the first semi-automatic digging tool that puts the power of a jackhammer in your step. Our Impact Tool uses a powerful built-in automatic sledgehammer to produce the impact force like a hammer and chisel. It's so easy to use. Simply position the tip where you want to strike. Step down on the comfortable footrest and impact. The Impact Tool does the digging for you. It amazingly delivers the same rock-breaking force regardless if you are a man or a woman. The Impact Tool cuts through dirt, clay, roots, and rocks. It digs more holes in less time and digs deeper holes with less effort. It operates in the upright position, not bent over like a shovel. It uses your stronger leg muscles, not your weaker back and arms. It easily changes into a different tool for different uses. And it does not require an air compressor, electricity, or gasoline like power digging tools. Let's face it, digging holes is hard work, but with the Impact Tool, digging holes has just become easy and fun. No more jarring pain from using shovels, no more sore muscles and backaches from swinging a pickaxe, and no more fatigue and exhaustion from repeatedly lifting a digging bar. It's fast and effortless. Just position, step, and impact. Put some power and precision in your step and make demolition and landscaping effortless with the Impact Tool.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Philip Perez.
You're not that guy with the muscles. Anyway, how many people have dug holes in their lives? And how many of you had a hard time digging through hard clay, rocks? How many ran into buried bricks? Like, who does that, right?
It was the bodies
in the backyard with a shovel and a hit brick. And it's like, what's that about? So anyway, you can understand the frustration of trying to dig a hole through hard clay, rock, roots, and everything like that. In the video, I just showed breaking bricks and stuff. That's just to show the power of the impact, but I should show more about real world, digging through roots and stuff. So hang tight, I'll show you how it works. So basically, it's a modified pogo stick. That's the cheapest I can make. And it's got a built-in sledgehammer inside, spring-loaded, automatic triggering mechanism. And you kick down with your feet, not with your arms. So literally, I can break this brick and hold this with my 2 feet, my 2 fingers, and just pop it over. And I'll show you that. But also, it's interchangeable. So the handle comes with like a jackhammer spade. You can put that in here. You can put a chisel. You dig into something. Even a hard clay type of cultivator. So it's interchangeable. And it's not too heavy. I mean, it weighs about 8 pounds right now. And then if you just want to come up and take a look, I don't know if you can see where you're at. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through this brick right here. So basically you cock it, raise it up and automatically cocks, and then you just press down. And it may take a couple hits. With the carpet, it really dampens the thing. So, but you don't even need your hands. But I'm sorry, it's not cutting through because it's...
Do you have a second brick?
Maybe I'll cut it right at the tip because it's just too soft, the carpet. But you just slam down, and it has a 1 pound hammer. If I made it like a 2-inch diameter. Here. So, if it was on hard concrete floor, that would have busted in 2 hits. But on carpet, it kind of dampens it. Oh, sorry. But it's all 4 components inside, and I had it machined and manufactured, and we're trying to get it down to the price of about $68 for it, and it saves a lot of work. Also, you can dig, put an extension, so the spade goes down an extra foot or 2, so you can dig like holes the size of a bucket, in a small tight area. You can't do that without a pick, because when you're digging a hole and it gets deeper, you use a pick, you need that arch. But this one goes straight down, and you can go around in a circle. and you scoop it right up. Any questions?
All right.
What's the material cost up to this point, not counting your development time, just material
Oh,
cost?
because they're all prototypes and stuff, I haven't got the material cost down yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just freshly built.
Can I buy that from you?
Actually, I got 3 samples, but they're prototypes. But I just figured out the triggering mechanism at the National Hardware Show in Vegas. Even Warren Tuttle thought it was a great idea, but it's not in his genre.
But he knows people.
Yeah, and so a guy from Conga said that he would love to have this because they don't want to lug out an air compressor or a power generator or a gasoline, gallon of gasoline to do power tools. Where he goes.
Yeah, question?
Yes.
The head of the shovel, it looks smaller than your standard shovel head.
Yeah, it's mostly for cutting through clay, and then you can use your regular shovel to scoop it up.
So it's to loosen up the soil.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's right. And it's interchangeable with different spade heads. But yeah, this is my first prototype. I got a Commando shovel head, and then I realized I can just get a jackhammer head and machine this down so it fits. So, but the cost of these are cheap.
When you're digging in just regular dirt, is the hole digging at like twice or 3 times the speed of a standard shovel?
Yeah, I mean, it goes way deep. It goes in as far as the hammer hits, which is about 1.5 inches cut, but because your weight pushes even farther. So I'm going to dig up a palm tree with this, and I'm going to time it and see how fast.
Have you ever been on it like a pogo stick to do multiple?
No.
Okay.
That would be dangerous.
How many else people here has experienced that? You've got a pitchfork and the thing's that long, so you can only get a hole that far before the handle hits. How many of you experienced that? This solves that. Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, Phil. Great job. Ruth. We'll let Philip grab the rest of his stuff off of here. Okay, great. You get to use the table. Good thing we put the table up there. Heavy duty, man.
Yeah.
Thanks. Come on up, guys. Excellent, Ruth. Come on, show it real life, really being used as a real thing. This is so cool.
I think we need to move the table.
You want it back?
Yes, please.
I thought you wanted more to use the table. Okay.
It's because
No worries.
it's too light.
You're the boss. All right. Well, I'm so delighted Ruth's here tonight. We've been watching her path now for quite a while, a few months at least. I remember when you first pitched, it was Top Dog, wasn't it, here?
Yes, but it was a different product.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
You've made an improvement on an improvement. Okay, that's the entrepreneur spirit. Are you ready? Just about. Tell me when you're ready. Okay, folks, prepared to be amazed with something you've just taken for granted. Your sheets. Yes, I'd like you to meet Ruth Young and her new invention of new sheets.
Well, I'm Ruth Young, and I'm the creator of what I call the hybrid sheet. And I've been in the cleaning industry for 23 years. I have done about 20,000 bits and all of that time. And frequently I have my clients complaining because the bed sheets will come off the mattress. And basically, a fun fact is that most of my prototypes are done on bed sheets that have been given to me by my clients. Most of the bed sheets were brand new because some of the reasons were because they will come off during the nighttime while they were sleeping. Another reason, I have older clients that they can't put the sheets on, they will wait for me to do it. And so basically, when they try to put the bed sheet, they will struggle. This is a full-size mattress, air mattress, and this is a queen size, so I apologize for that. But anyway, so basically, many times, some of my clients, even myself, I will rip the bed sheets in the corner. I will be struggling to put the bed sheet. So that's one of the issues. And so I created this. Another issue that bed sheets have is that when you use them, it causes stress, so they will rip on the top. So with this, when you lay on the top, the elastic fabric stretches, and this fabric stretches vertically and horizontally. And so I created, this is one of my first prototypes actually, and so I thought, why don't someone create a fun bed sheet also? During summer, I have clients that they don't use blankets, they only use the bed sheets. And so I did this for fun too, and I thought, well, they can combine different colors. The bed sheet industry in 2015 was worth $48 billion. Then I also have clients that have in their guest rooms inflatable mattresses. And another issue that I identify is that always the cords are bended under. And so I thought, why don't you just put the slit so the cords can come out and you preserve the durability of the cords. So I also did that. And so basically I also created the flat sheet, and my target is hospitality industry for these bed sheets. And this is the flat sheet. It takes about 8 minutes to do the bed, but with the hybrid collection, when you throw the pre-fitted flat sheet, you don't have to go back and forth. If this was a queen size mattress, this will land perfectly on top of the mattress, and you don't have to go back and forth to see if it's even on both sides. You lay it and you just fold it, and basically, if I could walk around, it will take me 30 seconds to put this bed sheet. And instead of 8 minutes with my bed sheets, you don't have to struggle pulling or tagging, or you don't have to be worried that this will come off, because I also incorporated thick elastic band at the bottom. So these are my bed sheets.
Questions?
How does it work?
I'm just to clarify, so the fitted sheet, what's different is you put an elastic going laterally and then on the corners?
Yes.
Okay.
The pre-fitted flat sheet, I created it because I also have clients that have Airbnbs. So I do on regular basis at least from 3 to 6 beds a day. I know how long it takes. So it takes a long time for you to put the, in this industry, in the hospitality industry, you have to do the beds perfectly fine, because it's very important that they look good for when the guests come. So it's not like you're gonna throw the flat sheet and just leave it whatever. So it has to be even on both sides. So that took me a long time going back and forth, and then I have to hurry up because I have more places to go to. So I thought, well, if it was pre-fitted, it just saw on the size, and actually this is a prototype too, but I have another one that is shorter. So you just put it on top of the mattress. It takes literally 30 seconds.
And so you don't do a hospital corner on this, or do you?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can see it on that side. It's just perfectly fine.
Almost self-fitting.
Yes.
Any other questions? Questions? Yes.
And it seems like the hotel industry be super important, because people.
That's who she's shooting for, is hospitality industry.
Yes.
$42 billion industry.
Well, it's projected to be $60 billion by 2020.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people using sheets.
Yes.
Anybody else? Questions?
Well, I was just going to say she should call Tillman.
Call who?
Keep explaining
The
yourself.
Houston billionaire that has all the hotels.
Oh, I was thinking Hilton. Oh, yes, that's the industry. Do you have that contact number by chance?
Yeah, he lives in Houston, so just.
Well, dude, hook her up, please. Come on, that's what we're about, right? Who else? Somebody else here? Yeah, Dan?
I actually received, we are in the last stages. Yes, I applied for a design and a utility patent. And so I also have other designs because there is different needs. And so I have other embodiments are called that address different issues. Like I said, I have older clients that they can't do their beds. Definitely they wait until someone goes and do the cleaning because they just can't put the sheets. And so these make it easier, but I also have other sheets and I have patent applications and all of those. Yes.
All right, any other questions? No, all right, thank you very much, Ruth Young. Our special sheet. Okay, very cool. Scott, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Gonna do video. Okie dokie. We'll give that a go. So far, so good. We've been lucky.
I put my laptop right where yours is.
Well,
I'm being needy, I know.
Sure.
Will luck be on my side today? Go technology.
Our last Mac adapter worked pretty good, so.
Yeah. Do one more. Oh my God.
That adapter isn't getting the HMI out. New HMI out?
Oh, we have this guy though, so we'll try that one.
Yeah, you could do that. There you go. Might save a step. Come on, baby. Yay! All right. We're finally in the age of real plug and play. How many meetings have we sat here and it's been like, oh my God, crash.
And that's actually a perfect segue, which you'll see why in a second.
Oh, crash. Great. Okay. Are you ready, Scott?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next contestant tonight is Scott Swaley and his Make Safe Power Tool Break. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott.
As Adrian said, my name is Scott Swaley. I'm the founder of Make Safe Tools, where we bring 21st century safety to 20th century tools. This, speaking of plug and play, this is a disc sander. And like tens of millions of tools like it, when you turn it off, it will continue to spin for minutes, putting everyone nearby at risk. But what if you could just magically plug that into something and make that problem go away? The tool on the left has a power tool brake installed, and when you turn it off, it stops in just 2 seconds. Manufacturing in America is a $2.1 trillion industry. It's also one of the leading industries for occupational injury. Despite increasing pressure to make the workplace safer, there's still over 400,000 power tool related injuries every year, and each of those has a significant cost to an employer. Over $40,000 for something like a minor laceration, and up to $160,000 for something like a small finger amputation. Now, my company, Make Safe Tools, has developed a power tool brake that can help to reduce power tool related injuries, reduce workers' compensation claims, and reduce lost productivity with an easy to install aftermarket device. This device installs plug and play in less than 1 minute, can be retrofit to nearly any stationary power tool, and positions my company to own the space between the wall outlet and the tool for later Internet of Things play. And how do we make money? So one interesting thing about this industry is that most companies that are distributors also do safety training and assessments and then just happen to resell the solutions to whatever problems they discover. And our business model is to leverage those existing customer acquisition engines and to integrate our product into their offerings. The first prototype was in November of 2016, and since then I filed a provisional patent, now a pending utility. I have 2 letters of intent from 2 of the largest safety distributors in the United States, and I have manufacturing set up. We're actually going to be at a show in 1 week at the NSC Safety Congress for our big launch. And we're targeting the medium-sized manufacturer that is already actively mitigating risk, either as a result of an injury or as part of a contractor compliance effort, which is often a requirement for government contracting. And unlike our competitors, we focus specifically on 110-volt tools, the small guys, the medium guys, and also on plug-and-play devices. We also integrate Safe Start, which is an OSHA requirement, into this device, which means that we have braking, which is an OSHA recommended solution, as well as Safe Start, which is an OSHA required solution, all in one package, which is offered nowhere else. And as I mentioned, these channel partners already have sales teams that are confident they can sell our product. As I mentioned, the first actual product was installed as an alpha unit over a year ago and is still in operation, and they can't imagine living without it. We've installed over 20 betas since then, all over the country. And I have a pretty diverse background. I'm equally comfortable in a boardroom, a break room, or shop floor, and I have expertise in all 3. This allows me to really bridge the gap between customers and advisors and investors. But taking a step back, this is not about a device. The device is just step 1. This is about taking an entire industry where tools have looked exactly the same for over 100 years and bringing it back into the century we're actually in. And as part of this, I'm looking for partners that have a passion for this, also that have expertise on either the business side or are willing to help with the engineering or even the manufacturing. But the reason why I got onto this is, I think, a little more important. So as I mentioned, I'm an electrical engineer. I've been an educator for the past 8 years. There's actually documentaries about my work using tools with students. And something that really frustrated me was something like a bandsaw. So if you don't know bandsaw, it's where a vertical blade comes down very quickly. It happens to also be what people use to cut meat because it's very good at it. And one of the things that frustrated me is the right way to use a bandsaw is the first thing you do is you adjust the blade guard. Okay, you reach for the blade. And if you've ever used a bandsaw, 1 minute? Yeah. If you've ever used a bandsaw, you know that after you turn it off, it's going to coast, sometimes for over a minute, and it's silent, and if it's a fine blade, you can't see it at all. And so we have not only children, but human beings all over the place that are at risk for these weird coasting machines. And if you're in an industrial setting with really big equipment, they would never think about having them coast. But for everybody else, the people that are less experienced, the makers, the people in their garage, the people that can't afford an injury are the ones that have no protection. And that's why the way you install this is you literally take any of those tools and you plug them into this box, and that's it.
Awesome. Very cool, Scott. Very cool, very cool, very cool. All right. Questions? Questions? Yes. Thank you, Chris.
The red button, what is that?
Yeah. So what it does is we defined our original mission is you cannot augment the tool at all. It has to be something that you need no expertise to install. So what you do is you take this button on the cord and you just mount it right next to your off switch. That's your new off switch. So you use your normal tool switch, and when you're done, you just tap the red button. We also have the foot pedal. And the tool breaks instantly, power is removed, and you can walk away. And when you want to start it up again, you just hit your switch. Yeah.
With the trip GFIC?
GFCI, no. This does rectification to create the DC injection piece. It does not trip any GFCIs, because then you'd have current on the ground conductor.
What about UL? Are they okay with it?
Yeah, so UL, we are in the process right now. We hope to have our certification by January. We'll probably be a UL 508 device, and we should, in the next week and a half, get our quote back to say exactly how many tens of thousands of dollars it'll be, as well as how they're going to classify us, because, but all Initial things show that we will not be a new and unusual, which is dangerous in UL terms.
Then I have a little close up. Andrew, you're next. Going to be up. Any other questions?
So you know, like they have devices now on table saws where you touch it and it stops automatically. How does that compete with you? Or how do you guys integrate together?
Great question. So Stop is the one you're talking about,
Yes.
founded by patent attorneys, interestingly enough. And one good thing is they're actually setting a precedent to actually make this kind of safety stuff a requirement for all tools sold in the United States. But they're also a specialty tool. And so to get their technology, you have to buy their $4,000 table saw, which makes it inaccessible to most people. It's also a destructive break. So every time that tool breaks, if it saves your finger, it's great. But you lose your blade and a cartridge. So that can be $120. And when it false fires, that gets very expensive. But I own one. It's a great product.
Well, oh, cool. Okay, one more question. Go ahead, Tim.
Is it waterproof in a place where there's a lot of water?
So this one right now is IP54 rated. Our production version is IP67.
Which means?
It will be.
Waterproof?
Yeah.
Which means, yes, it's currently dust-proof, and it will be not pressurized waterproof. It won't be like spray-down proof, but it'll be the like non-submerged waterproof.
Awesome. Great job, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Dan.
What's the sales price?
Sales price right now industrially, this sells for between $900 and $1,100. And the reason I'm doing that is because my passion is in the makers in the home shop, and I need to get this to $125 for it to go into their shops. And so by hitting the production levels industrially, that lets me make what I want to call like a grinder buddy, which I can bring back down to everybody else.
All right. Good job. Is this one yours? Is that one yours? This is not yours? Okay, last, Andrew, what's your last name again?
Bataller.
Bataller?
Yeah, Bataller.
Andrew Bataller, and your product, I didn't even open up your envelope, so I didn't even know what your product is.
It's a new innovative iPad case.
A new iPad case. Okay, Andrew, get yourself set up, and then we'll get you started. When you're ready, we will go.
So again, Andrew is a right hand on your ballot.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Bataller. I represent
Here we go.
iStandVictorious.com iPad case. There are 13.8 million iPads sold annually. It's a huge market. The age ranges from 5 to 85. The reason why I know it's my daughter's 5 and my dad's 85. It's a huge market. Men, women, that spans multiculturally. It's a huge market. The reason why I created this is because when I bought my first iPad, I was just so disappointed at the current market. You know, this is the bifold, trifold, the folio, they're all floppy. You know, they were just so disappointing. When I would type, they would flop. When I go FaceTime, they would flop. It was so annoying. That was just so painful for me. Until now. iStandVictorious is one of the only cases that has dual handles. Stands at a 45-degree, will not fall down. You just have to break it. It goes on all linear sides, no matter what position. It even goes up on a 90-degree for your FaceTime. You don't got to stack it on books, whatever. It will stay, just because of the unique locking mechanism. Grace and favor. So when I was able to meet Dr. Alicia Gwynn, the Hall of Famer baseball player of Tony Gwynn. When I showed it to her, she fell in love with it just for the fact that she could type 45 degrees and FaceTime at 90, go to bed, watch the TV, watch a movie, do her entertainment. It was fabulous. So much so that she agreed to be a partner. She wants me to do a limited edition Tony Gwynn case, scaling up into the Major League Baseball, NFL, and NBA. Huge audience, huge market sector. My name is Andrew Bataller, representing iStandVictorious.com. Be strong and stand victorious. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Andrew.
How do you spell your name?
Spell my name, Bataller, B-A-T-A-L-L-E-R. It will be out later on this year after Thanksgiving.
Is there a website?
Website is being constructed right now. Just look for it, iStandVictorious.com. I stand victorious. Here, I'll put it up for you. Branding, istandvictorious.com.
Okay.
Coming out this November.
Yes, question?
I just want to see it more clearly. Can you turn
Sure.
it around? We couldn't see
This one here?
the stand itself.
Yeah, the connection from the two pieces.
It's just hooks. It's just hooks, simple hooks. It's a simple locking mechanism.
So that's
it's like an arm bar. It's like an arm bar. You literally have to break it. It's not non-floppy.
How much does it weigh?
My prototype says the case. This is the case. It's 1 pound, and then the base is 1 pound. So 2 pounds altogether. Ultra thin. It's no thinner. I mean, no thicker than the rest of them.
If it's laid down on your chest, say you're watching TV laying in bed, and you have it on a 90-degree thing,
it's totally stable.
Is it going to flop toward you? Or?
No, not at all, sir. I mean, can I get a
victim?
Yeah. How about this guy right over here? What's up? We're right over here. All right. Oh yeah, go ahead and just go lay down. Lay down? Yeah. All right.
Is this where you cut it off?
That's a different conversation. Here you go. Oh wow. See, with the base, it's totally flat. Even if you have a tummy, right? Rock hard ass. Yeah. I got a daddy gut myself, so. Hey, you see, you can watch your YouTubes, your Netflix.
It's offset into the
Hold on, I'm getting caught. Oh yeah. You can FaceTime and do whatever. It will not fall down. How does it drop it? What? Drop it? Yeah. Oh man. Unlike the bifolds, trifolds, man, those things are just dust covers. I mean, I'm not trying to get on any manufacturer, but they're still making them. I just consider them a little subpar to I Stand Victorious.
Superior product. Do you have any more questions?
I have a utility patent. I have trademarks. I have manufacturing ready to go.
Very cool.
Retail, I'm going to come right under my competitor, $85 for both the stand and the iPad.
Greg?
Yes, how does the iPad fit in there? Can you?
It's a unique slot. I'll show it to you, but
the iPad itself.
Oh, that's part of the secret sauce. I mean, you might have to.
Okay.
Yeah. So it slides in, but you'll be the first one. I'll have like a.
And that's our last question. All right. Great job, Andrew. Great job. Thank you very much. Okay.
So, if you will, now please mark your ballot with one entry only per ballot, and then pass over this way your pencil and your ballot, and then I need my tally volunteers and my other volunteers that I spoke to earlier.
And please make sure you put Andrew on your ballot.
Okay. So while they're taking the vote, I'll continue, and so we can wrap up here.
Pencils as well.
Hey, there was 2 of us on our team. Can we both vote, or just one of us?
Continue to pass them down, and I'll be back by to collect them.
We're not done, but you gotta get going. Okay. All right, we'll be in touch. I have 2 more weeks following down here still too, so we'll see what else we can do. Dad, I can't even say anymore, so just call. We'll make it work. I'll make it work. You're welcome.
Last call for ballots. Please set them this way.
Do you have a currency? You gotta turn those in, so I'll get it from you.
We have a few minutes while this is all getting counted. Go ahead.
When you were going through the slides in the very beginning, there were several information sources or whatever that I was wondering, is any of this presentation, say, on the the website, the meetup thing, or the?
No, I think there's some videos now.
Just save the room by telling them it's not over. It's just a short little break.
You guys, this is just a break while we do the count, and then we're going to come back and wrap it up with some really important information. So, be sure to get that.
So, on behalf of Adrian and the San Diego Inventors Forum, I want to thank everyone who participated in tonight's contest. I think we had some really great presentations. I think there was a really close race in most cases, and I'm going to start announcing winners from third place to the grand prize winner.
And big hand for all the contestants this time?
Yes.
Big hand for all you contestants.
So, in third place, we have Eric Robinson with the Green Launch Orbital Launch
There you
Service.
go. Congratulations. You can't get a photograph if you don't come on
Put
up.
this in my own pocket.
We go up there.
Yeah, yes. Who's- Somebody ready to take a picture? Click, click time?
Oh, yeah.
Coming up.
Set check for $375,000 for that camera.
Minus all of our production costs, which are
And
$374,000.
minus a lot of zeros.
$374,900.
They might be leading zeros, but they're definitely not trailing zeros.
All right.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for Adrian.
Hold on. There you go. There you go. Perfect.
I think we all like to see that.
There you go. That's a winner shot.
All
Awesome.
right, thank you.
Here you go, Eric.
In second place, we have Ruth Young with her industrial
Way to go! Yay! Yay! There we go, there we go, there we go! Dun, 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 dun. Perfect! Yay! Ruth Young, congratulations!
And finally, we have Philip Perez with the impact tool.
Yay! All right! Look at that. Congrats. There's the big prize. The big prize. Ready? Look this way. Look this way, guys. Yeah. There you go. Dun, dun, dun.
We'll just bring it out.
Yeah, perfect. Congratulations.
Thanks again to everyone.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Leslie.
Now,
Leslie,
yes.
why don't you announce the amounts that these people took, because that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Grand prize, first place. That winner right there just went home with $1,000. I think second was 300. Am I correct? Correct me. Correct me. Correct me.
300, yeah.
300. Okay, 150 was our third place, right? Yay!
Before we let Adrian close out the evening with his remaining information presentation, we have a special presentation. So as you all heard earlier, Adrian has been our president for the last 13 years, and I've essentially been by his side the entire time. And it has definitely felt like 13 years. Not any less, by any means. But he has been a tremendous asset, not just to this group, but this entire community, and his endeavors over the last couple of years in supporting inventors across the United States, speaking out, going and visiting Washington, having a huge impact on what it means to you as potential inventors. I don't think that you'll be as successful if it weren't for the endeavors of people like Adrian speaking out and speaking up for us as a community. So on behalf of San Diego Inventors Forum, myself as Adrian's partner in this endeavor, we are certainly going to miss you every month here with us. I want everyone to please raise a glass to Adrian as a toast.
Oh. Cheers. Cheers, cheers.
Our president.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Cheers.
We also have a special gift for you.
Oh, you can have to do it.
This is a bottle of Merlot, specially etched. I can't remember what I wrote here.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for years of outstanding dedication, service, and leadership as president of the San Diego Inventors Forum. We are all grateful and appreciate you.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Thank you so much.
And
That's something
an
I'll
extra
always
bottle in
treasure.
case that one doesn't do the trick.
Yeah, well, one won't get opened, actually. Exactly. Awesome. Wow.
We also have
Mage on it, too.
Sydney has something to say,
Yeah.
and I think a few others may have something to say as well.
This is my brother. We've been together for a long time, 100 meetings that we've done together.
Startups.
And I tell you what, it's been a pleasure. We're all better, and the world is a better place because of this man. And his career and his influence is not going to go away once he moves away. So here's a little memento from all of us to you.
Awesome.
Take us along with you in your heart
how cool.
and put it on your wall.
I sure will.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
I think we had a few others who wanted to say a quick word, so whoever you are, speak up. Now's your time. Anyone else? Come
Gosh.
on up.
I need another swig for this.
I'm Michelle Nashoff, and I met Adrian 9 years ago last May when I was exhibiting at the San Diego Electronics Show and had my book, Can American Manufacturing Be Saved? Why We Shouldn't, How We Can, on display. And he told me about the Inventors Forum and invited me to the meeting. And 9 years later, I've hardly missed a meeting in 9 years.
That's right.
And it's been a pleasure to have been on the steering committee and the board when we formed a board. Plus, I also represent his company as a sales rep. So it's been a great, and I'm going to miss him greatly.
Oh, Michelle, thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. Like I said, Michelle only represents the best companies in town, so that's why she's our rep. So when you need your electronics manufacturing, talk to Michelle. She'll hook you up. Dennis, what's going on, man?
This is a great friend of mine. He came to the original meetings when Greg was the head of that. He's helped us here. He's a great mentor, and there's thousands of people that he's helped that he'll never know. And it's just just a great thing to have done.
Oh,
we'll miss you.
Oh, thank you, Dennis. Kind words. Thank you very much. Another swig. That deserves another shot. Thank you.
Adrian, I just want to say
Tom,
thank you very much. I've only known you for a few months, but the few months has been great. Education you gave me and the ability for me to come up here and speak, I appreciate it, and we wish you the very best, and I wish you the very best.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. Think about it. It's going to be people like Tom and other volunteers that continue all of this. So,
absolutely.
God, there's a lineup.
This way.
Okay.
You keep looking this way.
And
She said.
Adrian,
What's all happening, man?
during earlier times, before the year 2000, or it was 2000.
Before the day.
The year I was still at the library hanging announcements for inventors meetings. Maybe 10, 15 people came to the meeting. We're doing a kind of the 20th century, the early 20th century thing. Adrian brought the meetings into the 21st.
Okay.
With the membership, the presentation, the places. And Adrian, congratulations, and I hope you will not be a stranger here. You'll come as a great guest speaker.
Yes.
And we love you.
Oh, thank you very much. Dilly dilly.
Yeah, my name is Chris Baker. I'm a mechanical engineer, service provider. We first worked together in the 80s, doing some machines for the U.S. military. And then we got back together about 10 years ago. We've done a number of projects together. I think one of Adrian's best attributes is that he's really well connected in the community, and he's brought a lot of people to these meetings that you wouldn't normally have the pleasure to hear. So that's really been a big plus. I think that's what we're going to miss the most. Congratulations.
Very cool, Chris. Thank you so much. I did work. We did work together, making some really incredible machines way back in the '80s. And I was always impressed. The very first time I met Chris, he came out to the shop. He sketched something, went over the Bridgeport, milled it out, put it together, hooked up the air, and it worked. It was like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. That is so cool. Chris Baker, great mechanical engineer. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Dave Waller.
Dave!
How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
I've known Adrian for too long. Came to my office, I'm guessing, in the 90s, although I can't remember, with an invention, said I need to patent it.
Oh, yeah. That's
So
when
we
you were
filed
with research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's grown from that point on. I've done some work for him in his personal things as well as some of the ventures that he's created.
Yeah.
One thing I can say that I feel most honored to have been with Adrian is he's probably one of the most brilliant men that I've ever met. So in working with him, it was really a great honor in putting together his inventions into patents. They were really solid ideas, and they're pretty fantastic. Congratulations.
Oh, so kind of. You know, the latest thing we just got patented was a variation of the thing that you helped me with 15 years ago. So it goes, big circle goes around. Thank you, David. Richard! Hey, Richard. I already blamed you for everything. So.
Oh, yes.
All of this.
First one that got him into doing these meetings, you know, at the Demo Electronics Show way back, was 13 years ago?
No, so that was 14 because I started attending the... Yeah.
Yeah, I used to go to...
How come you still have all this and mine's gone? What is this? What is this?
But you lost a lot of weight and I gained quite a bit.
I'll share my secrets later.
And go to the Electronics Show each year, and he had a booth and a lecture about turning your ideas into products and invention and products. So attend that meeting. And then afterwards, I talked to him and say, hey, you know, I'm belong to this inventors group out in Rancho Bernardo, you know, at Power Pack. And, you know, if you're interested in it, you know, come along. And he came along for several meetings. And then at the time, Greg wanted to pass the torch. So,
you did this 10 years, didn't you, yourself?
14 now. 14.
Oh my God.
So 14-year cycle.
And then
interesting.
He took it to Adrian took it to the next level and got this place, or a place before that, Fisher and something.
Delmar. Fisher and Richardson.
Yeah, Fisher and Richardson.
Shepherd Mullen.
Shepherd Mullen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hosted for a while.
And oh yeah. The rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It is. So this was a start. Awesome. Oh, Bob. Okay.
So no words can put in to describe Adrian. No words. There's just no words. He has been just such a great asset to the community of San Diego, and we are truly going to miss you. Really, really, truly going to miss you. And I hope you come back and visit. By the way, I hope they can build that rocket with FedEx and send you here fast. So whenever you can. So awesome. I just truly, it's been an honor to just learn from you. You have just taught everybody so many things, and it's been a privilege to just be part of the whole thing.
Well, thank you, Bob. I really appreciate all the support you've given to our group as well. Really do. Really do.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Jennifer, even though everyone has already said everything, I want to talk about one of the biggest hearts around. You've always supported the community, no matter whose idea anyone had. You opened your arms, your office, your contacts. Thank you so much, Adrian.
Yeah.
How do you get this open?
Well, Adrian, I want to be the last to thank you that
oh my God.
There's a giant behind me. It's okay, I'm already fed, so there's no problem of you just consumed. But about 5 or 6 years I've been coming, and throughout all that time I would tell other people about the event and say, it'll be the best night of the month for you. And it's absolutely true. We've had a lot of great months, and the highlights were you.
Oh.
So thanks very much.
Wow. Wow, almost overwhelming. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me wrap this up and then we can have our personal goodbyes if that's cool, okay?
Yep. So I just want to say that just because Adrian is leaving,
Yeah.
the San Diego Inventors Forum will go on.
Yeah.
We are currently replacing the board. We are revising our committee. We will put out information in the coming weeks as to how things are going to kind of roll forward as we continue on. So please look for those emails, communicate with us. We'll be asking you for some feedback. We'll be putting out a survey. And so I think we got a lot of good things ahead of us, and we certainly have had a lot of great times with Adrian. I thank you all for taking the time to speak your words and to come tonight and to show our appreciation for Adrian and for coming to our contest for tonight. I'll let Adrian close our meeting with some of our normal procedures. And we have remaining cake in the hall. Please take some with you or take another bite before you go. And have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'll give you a little conclusion with some recaps. I firmly, thank you. That was delicious. Oh, that would be great. I firmly and so much believe this statement right here. This is what made our country great. This is what will continue to make our country great. It's you. And the fact that you have great ideas. And the fact that you live in the land of opportunity where you can actually make money off of those ideas. That still exists. And people are coming back to bat for us in that ideal. So what I mean is this. This is a great country, and the First Amendment was the best one, the freedom of speech. And those of you who know me know that I felt obligated, and I felt it was important enough for me to get out of my comfort zone and actually go to Washington and start making some difference. And this started back when Randy Landry called me, and we flew and we stopped HR 9. 12 inventors stopped $100 million worth of lobbying done by Google and Apple. I was very proud to be one of those inventors. That was just the start. That was in the spring of 2015, and then that was just a group. It was USI was just 3 people. It was Randy Landry and Paul Morinville and myself. We knew we weren't getting any attention because it's such a blasé issue. Most people don't understand anything about patent laws or why these laws are affecting our country and our future and our kids' future. So to raise the bar a little bit, we decided to make some noise. And this was the most radical thing anyone in Washington had seen from inventors, was a group of inventors showing up and deciding to burn their patents on the steps of the patent office. And I was one of them, and I was very proud of taking that act because it did make a mark. It did get world attention, and I'm going to tell you in a minute who else's attention it got. But this was a very important milestone in this country's history of inventing, frankly, that inventors, for the first time in the history of this country, stood up on the patent office and said, these things are worthless, take them back, they're liabilities. So we got some points across. It started a ball rolling. We went to other events because these are all different branches of government. Supreme Court was, of course, looking at this case, oil states where they wanted to take away our rights to own a patent as personal property. And we thought that was outrageous. I mean, here as the slogan says on this sign, the greatest job creator ever created in the history of mankind was the U.S. patent system. Well, it was number 1, now it's 12th. And the Supreme Court took it upon themselves to decide, well, that's been long enough run of having the best patent system in the world and letting you have the rights to your ideas. We're going to change that. And yes, in fact, they voted against the inventors, and you no longer have the rights to your patent as property rights. You have a grant of a public franchise. So, you know, that sucks. It's not what our forefathers thought, but that's what politics gets and buys. But this, you know what, the Supreme Court isn't the end all of all things. It's really what Congress and the Senate does that we have to live by, because they're the ones that adopt and change the rules. And so we kept fighting. I've been involved with a number of things. These are letters that go to the Supreme Court. Case by case, we will keep fighting to show that there is an injustice here. The system's been changed. It's been moved to the favor of the corporations, and that we have arguments against it. So I made many arguments. As you know me over the years, yes, the group of 3 of us went and we lobbied. We were 501c4. That group grew. It grew then to be a group of 10, and we started to see more and more of our congressmen, more of our representatives. And then I was really proud of doing this. Having been involved with these groups, I realized there's these cluster of big organizations for inventors that at the time they didn't jive. They didn't like each other. They actually fought over mailing lists. It was ridiculous. The situation was getting really desperate for us inventors, and they realized that if we didn't do something collectively, that there wasn't going to be inventors anymore, and they wouldn't have a purpose for having a club. So it was pretty simple to get them to understand, let's join forces. So we actually got one of the biggest organizations, United Inventors Organization, our group, U.S. Inventor, and we partnered with Stephen Key, and we formed the Inventor Group of America. And again, this was a little bit of history, and I was very proud to help impress people that this was the right thing to do. It was the time to do it. Stephen Key really believed in this as well. And we actually united. There's now 40 club leaders, such as myself, across the country that are meeting once a month and talking about policies, laws, and best practices for clubs. And what this also means is now we have speakers nationwide, or the best speakers in the industry, that are willing to come on live and video link with us. So our resource base multiplied 40-fold. Everybody who's got a contact. So this is what the future holds for us, is that you're now part of a national community for the first time of inventors in this country. And it's a very powerful force, because we're the golden boys. Again, Washington's been lobbied by the people that are paid to go there. They very rarely get to talk to their real constituents. So when we showed up, we not only got to talk to the patent office, but we went over to the Hill, and that one day we talked to over 40 congressmen and senators. The new director actually came into the meeting at the patent office and talked to us. For the first time, real people in the patent office were seeing that there are real people out there that are inventors, they are concerned, they will stand up, and they want to keep their rights to keeping this country great. And the end result was this, those 40 of us that represented all of you there one day. And this was a very important day in history, and again, I was very proud to be a founding part of all of this, really in benefit for all of us, so we can have our patent rights. The beat marches on. I was very proud. How many of you saw this movie Invalidated that we premiered here? Thank you for coming. It's still out there. It's available now. This is the story of Josh Malone, the guy who made the water balloons project, and he spent nearly $20 million now defending his patents because companies that could use these new patent laws did to try to ruin his life. But he stood up and he was persistent, and he's fought his way back. But there's so many cases like this. This movie is excellent as a documentary on what this whole story is about right now. And it's led to this. We now have 4 bills this year. 4 bills in favor of changing patent laws back to where they were. And we have, yes. This is very huge. It's very important. There's still some, it's my agenda versus this agenda. So some bills are more powerful than others, but all of them offer some improvements, if not major improvements, to changing the patent laws back to where before this American Invents Act took place. Getting rid of that patent trial board is the biggest problem we have right now. There's a division, if you don't know, a division of the patent office is there. If somebody wants to challenge your patent for little money, they can. This division is set up to actually invalidate your patent, and it costs you almost $500,000 just to start to defend yourself, which is where most of us just roll over. So it's really becoming in favor of the corporations for them to bury you right as you get started. Anyway, we want to change those laws. There's laws like HR 6557, which we're supporting, that actually carves out the small inventor. Macy's bill is great. It gets rid of the P-tabs, and we were seeing some bills being suggested that are really powerful. So this morning was a joy and a half for me personally because of this news here. And this is where I'm going to pull it all back together. I told you that we were burning our patents and people were watching. Well, in fact, we got the feedback today that Trump saw that. He saw us protesting the Supreme Court too, and that is why he appointed this new director, Iancu. And in fact, this director, Iancu, has been taking the sword to every one of these rulings and saying, let's get rid of this, let's change this, go back. He has been our greatest advocate and the best director we've ever probably had. And in fact, this law was changed today. Now, what this is about is that if you got one of these challenges, an inter-parties review or post-grant review, they used to be able to open up the entire world of every patent ever filed to use against you in that patent challenge. That just wipes you out. There's absolutely no way, you could not avoid having some reference to something. In fact, it became such a tool. Companies in India were offering all the way down to $400 to do that search so you could invalidate any patent you wanted to. Basically, there isn't a patent in the U.S. that's worth more than $400. Think about those trillions that just vaporized mentally. All right, so this change comes back saying they are no longer going to use broadest reasonable interpretation. Yes. That's huge. Now if they can just get that abstract idea law kicked out. I heard that's been... Well, changes, some are good, some are bad. These that affect us in a good way, I'll take any day. All right? So that's the scoop on the patent news. We are seeing really positive changes there. And it is because we have been collectively showing that there is a voice and that these things do matter. So yeah, our bill is 6557. It carves it out. When I say we, it's the USI. And I really should stop saying that because as I've resigned from this organization here, I've actually stepped down from both of those organizations as well. I've about done as much as I can for them. Right now they want to lobby more, and that's, if I wanted to be a politician, I'd have... Anyway, those two groups will carry on and are carrying the battle forward, and we have to support them as much as we can. So there's some sign-up sheets out there, and I hope you do support those organizations and keep fighting for your rights. It was the forefathers, again, idea with Section 8, the clauses that say that we have the rights to the labors of our mind, basically. And that's what made this country great, and we got to keep it here. Because yes, impressing your imagination is one of your greatest joys. Okay? So that's what's great about America. That's what's great about what's going on. I'm very proud to have had a part of that. I'm very proud to have had a part of this whole organization here and helping so many of you every week. For all these years, it's actually thousands of you. I am not disappearing. I'm still available online. You know my connection. It's www.californiaproductdevelopers.com, or you have me directly. What I'm planning on doing is I do have a notebook of things that I do want to accomplish, projects that aren't done. I'm finally going to move to a location where I'll be able to get back into a shop on a regular basis, which is when you get up at 2 or 3 in the morning, that's a good thing. And that's what I'm really planning to do. Our operation will continue running here. Danny is taking over as production manager. Thank you, bro. And we do hope to expand and keep building great products that you guys design and we make here in the USA. So thanking AMN Healthcare, again, OmniSquare Technologies, the new product development plan I have helps you go from initial idea, initial concept through design and into manufacturing so it's showable. And please, San Diego, stay inventive. Thank you very much. Thank you. At 9:19, it was over. Thank you,
It's okay.
I definitely want to see you guys in that.